everybody. Welcome to Crazy Gaming. I'm Crazy, and welcome to the first episode of a new series called Icarus. This is the game I've been playing since the beta release. It's been out for quite a while. The release, full release launch was just 6, 7, 8 weeks ago, and I'm getting ready to start this new series. I'm going to start a new character and begin it from scratch so that those who are curious or interested in maybe learning more about the game will have an opportunity to see how everything works, the mechanics and whatnot, and decide whether or not they're interested in the game or not. So let's kick things off and jump right in. So, when you start a character in Icarus, you're going to be taken through a screen that, like a lot of games do, where you build the character to whatever, suits you. So, the first one is body type. You can go masculine, you can go feminine. This is a different way to change the color of the suit he's wearing. Now, my suit is, I believe, my main character suit is, I believe, it's either orange and black or blue and yellow. I'm not sure, but we're going to do just the black and white for this character. Okay, this is the voice, female. Voice A is male. We'll be sticking with him. And I'm going to go ahead and leave everything this way. You can't really tell much of the character inside the game. You don't really get close to him or whatever from his perspective. We'll leave things pretty much like this. We just want him to look at least halfway normal and not like a cartoon. Okay, the logo is what displays on your helmet. And I think we're going to go with the Icarus logo. And the head cap changes to different. I think we're going to leave him like that. And we'll make him have a little white stripe. Nah, let's just leave that all black. Alright, so we need a name. I'm just going to say Crazy. Okay. So, now that we've created our character, we have to choose the mode in which we'll play the game. These are prospects, what they call prospects. They're like missions that you have to complete. The prospects are going to be Beachhead Recon. So the operator is UDA, biome is forest, background is UDA regulations require a new Icarus arrivals to demonstrate basic survival skills in this region before accepting for the contract. So basically what they're telling you is they're going to drop you in a forest biome, and there'll be animals such as wolves and bears and other sorts of animals and stuff. But in this first mission, most of the predator animals won't be around, so you won't come across like wolves or bears, the kinds of animals that normally would kill you. So you'll see instead like deer and rabbits and sheep and that kind of thing. So it's a fairly simple operation. Now I've completed this because everybody's required to complete it on my main. But we'll go ahead and delete all this stuff. And we're going to start a new prospect. And this is the main hub or tree of missions. Now, a lot of these missions are unlocked because my main tune has completed them, but we're going to start at the very first one here, which is the one that will be required for all new players.
Welcome to Icarus, friend.
And you'll get a chance to...
UDA
It gives you an
says we gotta
opportunity...
drop you in a safe, well-mapped zone your first time down. They must have been thinking of some other planet. You'll see for yourself, soon enough. There's a ways to go before you head out hunting for exotics. Right now, it's about learning to survive on the surface. So head down, take a look around, then we'll talk.
Okay, so basically this is what I was explaining to you earlier, and what you'll do is you'll accept by claiming the prospect. We have no optional gear, and I'm going to move back because there was one thing I failed to show you. Let's go back again. Okay, so there's a thing called the workshop. Now, because I bought the game, the high level edition of the game, I'm afforded this suit for free. And what this suit does is it gives you an oxygen slot in the suit and a water slot in the suit. So you get an extra module slot, which is kind of cool because originally during the beta and up into the release, everybody was running around with one of these. And so you only had one slot, and that was for oxygen. With this one, it affords me to have a slot for water as well. So I don't have to keep, and you'll see in the game as we get going, and I'll explain further. But it also shows you other items in here. So let me go ahead and take this. I'm going to craft it because it's a perk for buying the higher tier game. Alright, and so I've also unlocked these items. That's a pickaxe. And an axe used for chopping down trees. Now I have the 25 credits, and I can, if I want, craft these because I've already got one of these. So I'm going to go ahead and craft this pickaxe. And now it's in my inventory. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'll go back to the home, and we'll go back to what we were doing, which is accepting the prospect.
Welcome to Icarus, friend. UDA says we gotta drop you in a safe, well-mapped zone your first time down.
Now that I've accepted...
They must have been thinking of some other planet. You'll see for yourself, soon enough. There's a ways to go before you head out hunting for exotics. Right now, it's about learning to survive on the surface. So head down, take a look around, then we'll talk.
Okay, so sorry about that. So the first cohort enviro suit is the one that I will be placing in that slot. And then I will bring the pickaxe that I earned playing the character on my other tune, which anything you purchase obviously or craft in the loadout will automatically be in here, so you can transfer it here to take down the planet with you. Now, when I first started the beta, they didn't have any of this stuff available, so we all had the same thing. Anyway, so with that being done, we'll confirm the loadout. I'm going to put this as private, and I'm going to go yes. This is the capsule that we're going to the planet in. was listening to an iPod, I guess, kind of a device that says it's playing the song Free Falling, which is kind of comical. Now if I hit C, that will put me in
Welcome
third-person
to
perspective.
Icarus, friend. Looks like your first time down here. Call me Soul. Looks like paradise. But don't be fooled. The air's poison, wildlife's out to kill you, and the weather's like nothing you've ever seen. You'll need to make yourself some shelter soon enough. But you know what you're doing, right? That's why you came all the way out here and dropped with nothing. 'Cause you could. Well, UDA wants you to show you understand the basics before they send you anywhere really dangerous. So get acquainted, then head back up when you're ready. Best of luck, friend. Stay safe.
Okay, so now that that spiel's over, using the F key when you first get off the ship, the first thing you want to do immediately is start gathering materials so that you can make things, because you have to make everything from scratch here. So I have a leg up because I have a pickaxe, which means I can mine rock, and of course I'll be using it to mine ore and stuff when we go to mine things out of stuff. This is what they call berries, and they provide a buff, so the first chance you get, pick them up and then immediately consume one. And as you can see from my character tab, I now have this butt, and it boosts health and stamina for a short time, so it's giving me 50 maximum stamina, plus 50 maximum stamina, and minus 10 water, because you also have to drink water in this game. And go ahead and mine this. This is called oxide, and this is what's used to provide oxygen to your character. Okay, so there's two ways you can consume this. You can right click on it and hit the consume button, which fills up this oxygen meter. We'll just go ahead and consume the stack. That fills it back up, and then, you can also take it, and this is even for the other version of the game. Everybody has this slot, and you can drop the oxygen in here, which will automatically feed oxygen to you, so you don't have to worry about it. Now the other games, or the other game versions, the lower game versions, do not have a suit that has this slot, which is a water slot. So that's a perk. Now, because you don't buy the upper end game, doesn't mean you won't be able to purchase a suit with that slot. You will, once you've completed enough missions and earned enough credits to do that. You can purchase a suit like this, which are offered inside the load screen before you actually come down to the planet. What I'm doing right now is collecting items so that when I go here and I hit crafting, I can make items. Now in this section it says I can make an axe. I need an axe. I'm going to go ahead and make one because I've grabbed these materials that I need to do that. So now I have an axe and I'll be able to chop down trees. So now, I haven't made a new tune since I began playing the game. Since the launch of the full game. I mean, I had another tune that I've used during the beta, but that tune was erased when they released the full version of the game. So I'm not sure, but I may already have the talents and stuff unlocked. Let's see. Nope, I don't. Good. So none of my talents are the talents from my main character. So I'll be having to earn those just like whoever else joins this game. Anyway, so the first thing we're going to want to do is build some shelter.
Good work, Freshwood. With new skills, come new possibilities. What you do with that knowledge, well, that's up to you.
Okay, so on a side note, when
No
I'm
point picking up a hammer if you don't know what you're making. Before you build, you gotta learn how.
all right, hopefully he's done. So when I'm doing my gathering and stuff when I first get off the ship like this, I am holding the F key down. I'm not tapping on it. So I just hold it down as I come across this stuff. As I turn my tune, he'll automatically harvest these things. All these things that I'm harvesting right here will give me sticks, materials, and things that I need so that I can unlock and do other things. And so now that I've leveled, I'll go here. I will go to the tech tree, and this will afford me to unlock things here. Like things that I'm going to need. I've got 3 points that I can spend. Each one of these costs 1 point. The first thing that I'm going to unlock is a knife because it's important. I need it to skin any animals that I might kill. The second thing I'm going to unlock is a bow because I need a bow. And I'm going to unlock an arrow. Now I want to hit level 2, and when I hit level 2 then I'll be unlocking other important things such as the fire, the torch, and possibly bandages or something else. But I mean, this is what I'm doing right now because these are the things that are going to come important to me most right now. And so I need to go back to my crafting and see if I can craft any of these. And of course I can. So I'm going to craft the knife. Next I'm going to craft the bow. And then I'm going to craft this arrow. Now this gives me an opportunity to see how many of these I want to craft. I'm going to craft max, which is going to give me 16. And I'm crafting those 16. And now I have the ability to defend myself. So if I hit 4, now my bow comes in. I can also kill animals and whatnot for food. But I'm not focusing on that right now because right now I'm focusing on getting materials and leveling up so that I can unlock the fire pit, which I'm going to need to cook anything I kill. And how close I'm getting to that I will know by the bar in the upper left. It says level 1 and right below it is a bar. That bar has to go all the way up in XP to the end, which is 8,610 XP, so that I can level to the next level. So that's my focus right now, is getting there as quickly as I can. One of the ways that I can do that is by harvesting and by cutting down stuff, like, you know, by pounding on rock. I can also level by making things. In the beta, what a lot of people were doing was making bandages. Bandages are cheap and easy to make, yet they were offering just massive XP for doing each bandage. So people were leveling up really fast doing that. They'd make the bandages and then destroy them and make them again. Of course, all that's changed. They fixed all that so that doesn't happen anymore. But it wasn't cheating or anything, and they were aware of it. They just let it roll for a while. But what I found that one of the quickest ways to level up is to chop down trees. So that's what I'm going to do. Because every time I hit it, it's giving me XP. You can literally, in a really short amount of time, level to level 1 or to level 2 doing this. Plus, this is all stuff that will help you. You need wood for fires and whatnot. And as right now, we can't build houses from this, but we will be able to build thatched houses. Which I'm probably not going to do, because thatch is really a waste of materials. It doesn't, the thatch is weak in storms and catches fire real easy and doesn't really hold the animals out, predators or whatnot. That's a wolf I hear in the background. But I don't think, I could be wrong. We may come into contract with some of these predators, but I'm not sure. So right now I'm going to focus on leveling, so that if I do come into contact with one and I have to kill it, I can at least cook its meat and eat it. This food's an important thing here. Now, falling trees and things like that can injure you, so you have to be careful of that. Injuries this early in the game can be devastating. You want to be mindful of that. And as you look at my bar right there, I've moved quite a ways just chopping down a couple of trees. I like to cut out the stumps because they give me points just like any other part of the tree. And also it clears the ground and makes it flat in case I want to build something there. Alright, let's see where we're at. Now we can create these things. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to travel to a spot that I'm planning on using for shelter. And what I'm going to do is dig a shelter in a stone rock like this, a great big one. And so in doing this, it will afford me a shelter out of the weather, and will also provide me some protection from animals that may be inclined to try to hurt me. So what I'm doing is I'm just looking for a good rock, a larger size rock, because the bigger the rock, the nicer it is for shelter. So I'm just running around looking for one that's can fit my needs, give me as much space as possible. I think I will use this one. What I'm going to do is hollow this out. Now, this is giving me pretty XP beating up this rock. Because I'm such a low level, I'm already over encumbered by the stone. So what I'm going to do is, I don't have enough to make a stone pile yet, but I do have enough to make a wood pile. So I'm going to click on this, craft it. It's going to automatically throw it down here because if there's an open slot, it will. But I don't want it there, so I'm going to use it to get rid of it out of my bags. And I'm just going to make a pile right here. And that has lowered bar in the center lower of my screen. It's that white bar right in the center above the action bars. It's disappeared now. It talks about my weight. And when you become over encumbered, it can be difficult. Okay, so now I've got an area that I can come inside of. Now I'm flipping through the wall, but I'm actually inside. There's no hole here. Alright, so now I have a place that I can sleep. I'm getting ready to level again, which will afford me to make a fire. And I'll be able to build a torch so I can see at night. Now, if you look at my bars, my food is low, and also my water. So what I'm going to do is come over here and take a drink off out of this lake, or whatever you want to call it, this creek. And that fills up my water. But now drinking from that water source can also give you a parasite, which will make you sick, which can affect your stamina and whatnot. I'm going to eat another berry. That's not going to help a whole lot with my stuff, so what I need to do is hurry up and level. And there we go. Now I can build myself a fire pit. Let's go to the tech tree. Now I can build a fire. I also want to build a bedroll if I can, so I'm going to connect on that. And I'm going to scroll down this way and see if there's something that's available to me. Now the thatch roof and the rest of the stuff isn't available to level 5. But I'm not going to go that route. I'm going to go with the wood route. That would be able to afford me to make a house, you know, or a lodge or whatever you want to call it, out of wood, like logs, like a log cabin and whatnot, which is a lot sturdier and is more comfortable. So I'm not going to pick any of this stuff at this time. Right now I'm going to focus on what I need to focus on, and the third thing I'm going to get is a torch so that I can see at night. Now I can hunt for food, which I need to do because I have to eat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over here. Before I do that, what did I do? Have I crafted one yet? No, I haven't. So let's go to the crafting tree and let's make a campfire. Now I'm going to deploy the campfire right here in front of this cave for 2 reasons. One, that'll let me know where my campfire is, where my camp is, and the stone I'm using. And it'll be able to identify it if it gets dark before I get back over here, and allows me to know where I'm at. So I'm going to open the map, and where I am standing right there, I'm going to mark it. So I've made a mark here on the map so I know where I'm at. So after I'm out here hunting, it'll be easy for me to find my way back, because it's real easy to get confused out here. This is wheat. Later on, this will become handy, but for right now, it's not beneficial to me to fill my bags with anything that I don't need or I won't be using. I'm going to work my way up here. See if I can find some wildlife. Now using my left control, it puts me in what's called stealth mode, which makes my bows a little stronger than normal. So I got a headshot. Down goes him. What I'm going to want to do is come over, and the first time looking is to collect this, although if I just skinned it, which I do with my knife, it would have showed up in the take all window. There would have been an arrow here. But I just like to collect them if I can see them, so there's no mistake. I'm going to take everything, and then I need to get rid of the bones, because this will attract wolves and bears and that kind of stuff, which we don't want to do. Now I'm going to run back over to my campfire, which I believe is down here. And I'm going to cook the meat so I can eat it. So I press F, I take the meat out of my bag and I put it up here, and it will start cooking it automatically. So, one thing I do want to do as soon as possible, if possible, is make a sleeping bag. The bedroll will afford me to be able to sleep through the night. Otherwise, it can be a really long night and it's really dark. And a lot of the predators and stuff are moving and wandering around. So, being able to hit that button and be immediately at daytime is kind of nice. But getting this is going to require 19 more fur, so it will require me to kill quite a few more animals. Some animals provide more fur than others. The one that I just killed provides more fur as I level up. And also, once I get a crafting bench called the skinning bench, it will afford me to get 10, 20 times the amount of fur for each animal that I skin on that table. So I'll be looking forward to trying to get one of those. And this is how this game goes. You want to try and work your way up and get better as you go. The skinning bench isn't available, I don't think, until possibly tier 2. I'm not quite sure. It's been a while since I've been this low. Let's see. Crafting table will provide that, but this is the skinning bench, and it does not unlock until I unlock the crafting table, crafting bench. Crafting bench will unlock until tier 2, and that's at level 10. Let's see what the meat's done. Okay, the meat is done, so I'm going to consume it, and that has raised up my. You look down the lower left at my little stats bar, and you'll see those 3 windows. One is O2, the next one is the food, that's the fork and a knife, and then the one next to that is water. So at least I'm not in the red. So that makes things a little easier for me. Now rabbits are fun and sometimes provide a good amount of fur. Now there are animals that won't provide fur, they just provide leather, and that's like deer and stuff. Now I have an event coming in, so I'm going to want to get in shelter. Now it's not that this is it's a storm incoming. Now it's not that rain will harm you really so much, it's that it's a lot of times when you're a lower level and less protected, it can cause damage, and it can actually kill you if you go long enough in being exposed to it. So I always choose to just not be caught in that position. You drink some water. We're going to be stuck in there for a minute while the storm goes through. And I'm going to make some arrows while I'm waiting for the storm to go by. Now the storm bar hasn't started for me yet, and I'm going to not go inside until it has started so you can get an idea of what that's about. I'm clearing away a lot of this foliage and stuff, so it makes it easier for me to see what's approaching. In other words, so they can't get too close to me without me seeing them, because they're being hidden by foliage or whatnot. So that's just a personal thing that I like to do. Now these are plants and stuff. There's plants and stuff here like these. This reed flower, which I can harvest that as I level, I will be able to utilize those items to make anti-poisons and healing, stuff and whatnot. So there is a lot of items in the forest that you can use to your benefit, and can be used to make food and whatnot, like such as the wheat that you saw. There's even a concoction using the berries that we picked, the juice, that actually gives you quite a boost for health and stamina and some other stuff. So this rain isn't very strong. Okay, now you can see my stone exposure has risen. Also in wet weather, it puts the fire out. And now if I go inside this little thing I made, you can see the storm exposure is going down. The bar is going down. So while we're in here, I'm going to craft up some more arrows. And I don't need 79 arrows, so I'm going to bring that down. I want to use some of that stuff for other problems. Right now we have 15. So I'm going to craft 35. Which is going to end up putting us right around 50. And that's where I like to try to be. That's a lot of arrows, it sounds like, but believe me. So we're going to also want to make a torch. And so now we are I'm gonna move this stuff. Oh, my bag is full. Look at that. Just eat another. Now, food and anything you get will deteriorate over time, and that's why this thing was turning brown. And once it, meat especially, once it, meat or fish, or flesh, once it reaches down here, it will drop to 18, and you'll gain what's called a spoiled piece of meat, and it's a green ball that ends up in your bag. So that's just another thing you need to watch for. Alright, so we can craft another one of these, and I think we're going to do that so we can make some space in our bag. And we're going to get rid of that now. And we're going to put it out here right next to the other one that we stacked out here. Maybe. There we go. And those will come in handy when we get ready to start building the shelter. And so up in the upper right corner you can see the temperature, and you can also see that little bar that's showing what the status of the storm is. Now once the sun comes out, it'll stop affecting me. Now it's starting, I can already come out and it's not going to affect me and put me back in that damage zone of the storm bar. So we're good to come out and move across. Now also there are things like this, which is watermelon. And if you eat that, just like the berries, it will give you a buff. And I will show you that buff here. Okay, so we have the berry buff, we have the meat buff. And that gives us 75 plus 75 maximum health and plus 20% health regeneration. And the melon gives us plus 50 maximum stamina and minus 10 oxygen consumption. So each one of these gives a buff, and these buffs can be really handy. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on. Grab our bow and arrow out. We need to get some more food. And let's see what we're looking like on oxygen. So let's move this over to here. And we probably want to go ahead and harvest this. So my stamina bar has to rebuild. Now I can start swinging right now again, but I let it fill all the way up. That's the bar above my actions. My action bar. Yellow bar. So as you can see, it goes down as I'm swinging this pick. And it's also letting me know my weight. And as you can see, it's getting closer to me to being overloaded again. So now I have the 50. I'm going to put this here. And I'm going to stack these. And I'm going to... Now this is a coarse flour. This is something that I picked up in my picking up of stuff in the foraging mode. I'm going to drop this because I'm going to destroy it because I don't really need it, and I can't make anything with that for quite a while. So it's taking up space that I don't want it to. And I have 100, as you can see, more wood. And let's go ahead and make another stack and lose this stack out of our bags too, because we want to keep our wet down so we're able to pick up other things. So let's put this down. Crafting. We're going to hit this. We're going to craft. And we're going to hit number 6. And we're going to put this down here next to the others. Okay, so that should lower our weight quite a bit. Let's see what else we have in here that's so heavy. We've got 43 stone. Okay, so let's go ahead and move the stone out, and we'll dump the stone here. That way we can pick it back up if we decide we're going to need it later. So it will sit right here. Now that should reduce our weight quite a bit. And we have quite a bit of stuff. So what we might think about doing is making a storage unit when we do our next tech tree fix, and that we should be able to pick a small wood crate, which will afford us to get stuff out of our bag and be carrying less things. One of the first things I'm going to do is when I hit level 5, is get this bone arrow. Bone arrows are huge. They make a huge difference. And let's see what we should be trying to go for next. Will be basic bandage. And well, we'll see when we get to that point. There's no sense in getting ahead of ourselves. First thing we need to do is get some more food before we starve. And this one has given us some more fur. So, if you look down at my action bar, you can see that my knife here in the number 3 slot, the little line is going down. That means it's getting ready to break. I'm going to repair, only I need stone to do that. So I'm going to walk over here, use my pickaxe. Oh, so I've got a wolf coming at me now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my knife to kill him. Then I'm going to... Now he's attacking me, so I need to kill him. I'll come back for him, but let's get this guy first. We'll skin him. And my knife just broke. I didn't get them. I'll use my pick to finish him off. And I'm going to come over here to a stone and mine some stone so I can repair my knife. And I've leveled up. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is go back to my inventory, come down here, right click this, and repair. And there we go. So let's head back to our camp. Reignite our fire. Let's throw this meat that we just got in there. It's 5 pieces of meat. We now have 12 fur, which means we only need 7 more to craft a sleeping bag. Because it's really early, it's not totally black dark outside yet. I want to try to kill another wolf or two would be nice, but I highly doubt it. But as you can see, the wolf gives the most fur. Now I know there are wolves over here, but I want to eat some food first to get my health back up, because I took some damage when they attacked me. And the other thing I want to do is go to my tech tree. I want to... For me to get to the wood stuff, I think I have to accept the attached beam, but I'm going to try to avoid that right now. It's not really... I want to do a basic bandage, because those wolves can damage you and create a problem. And let's see what else. I could do a wood spear. I've never really cared for them. I know people that use them quite a bit. Let's get a storage unit. We have 1 more point available. And I think we may use an oxidizer. We may use that on an oxidizer. Now I can't build these armor, but the cloth armor really isn't that beneficial for the amount of cost that it takes, and to me every point you get is pretty important. So I'm going to click the oxidizer and we'll make that. And then I'm going to go up to my talents. Now the talent trees will force you to use points to do things too. And one of the first things I'm going to go for here is the resources tab. And now that because I'm on the survival mode, I can go on the solo mode and things will happen for me a little quicker. But I want the survival mode because I'm trying to get to Peerless Lumberjack. And what happens is when I chop a piece of wood on a tree, it instantly goes into my bag. Or the season logs, it automatically loads into my inventory, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to click the lumber yield first because lumber is going to be important to us in the beginning of this game. And then I'm going to use my next resource point for an increase to my base health. And I'm going to increase my base movement speed. And that's going to clear out the points that I have right now. And that's what that's about. So, let's eat some more food. And my health bar comes up with each piece of meat that I eat. And now I'm at full health. So, it's too dark now, so we're going to be pretty much stuck like a truck for the night. So we'll be just camped out in here. There's not a whole lot we can do while we're here. Because in the dark, believe me, it can be vicious. Now, I know there are wolves, because I've played the game for quite a while. There are wolves probably over on this island across, this little island right here. But there's a pack of them. There's probably 3 or 4. And with the weapons that I have, I probably wouldn't fare well against that many animals. So I'm going to wait it out till morning, and then tomorrow we'll see if we can level up again. What level are we now? 3? Okay, so 5 is where we're going to unlock the ability for the table that we want to get. And that's going to be level 2. And this is going to be important. This is going to change things for us pretty drastically because it's going to afford us to be able to make a skinning bench and where is it at? Oh, the oxide dissolver, which is a machine that will afford us to be able to fill a leather leather pouch to keep in our slot for oxygen, and we won't have to keep mining over and over the oxide to stay going on our oxygen. And let's go ahead and build, if we can, the oxidizer. Now, the oxidizer is a lower version of that, and I'm going to show you how that works right now. So what we're going to do is just place this down in the number 6 slot. No, we'll put it in the 8 slot. And what that's going to afford us to do is to set this out here. And it says F to add oxide. I have oxide in my bag, so I'm going to go ahead and add that. And for each one that I add, it fills it up to a max of 10. Now, this thing I have found is, it's already gone down one. This thing actually will bleed off over time. But what this affords me to do is to walk up here and hit the consume oxygen button, and it will raise my oxygen level. But right now our oxygen is at a good level because we have that in our slot, so it automatically feeds oxygen to us. So I'll add some more to make it 50, and we still have 32 in our bag. But I got this because now I won't have to go out and hunt oxide as much, and when I use this, you can be almost to 0, and one puff will fill you all the way up. As you can see, it does bleed off, and it's down to 5. I'm not going to fill that back up again until we absolutely need to, when things start to get low in our bags. So up in the upper right, it says 2108 or 2109. That is the current time in this map. And daylight won't come till around 7 a.m. And even then it's going to be like pre-daylight. It's going to be dawn. It's going to be a little bit lighter and more easy to see, but not much. Right around 7:30, the sun will be up and it'll be a lot brighter and it'll be daylight again. Now I can wander around out here and do what I want I can go out here and try to chop down trees. I can do, things of that nature. But being that I'm at this level that I am, and with the weapons that I have, I choose not to do that. Now, not everybody does that. Everybody can do what they want. That's just my choice. So, what we'll do is we'll come back when the night has passed, and we'll carry on in the morning. And I'll see you guys then. Okay, we're back. And it is 7:06 a.m. Now, I did level up in the night when you were gone. I came out and scrounged around in the shrubs around me, collected some items, crafted a couple things, and was able to harvest some pumpkins that I cooked in the fire, which now are in my bag, and they give me a boost on stamina, 75 plus 75 maximum stamina, and plus 5% exposure resistance. So being out in the weather isn't as hard on me. So we have one level left until we can get the crafting table, unlock a couple items, and unlock the wood so we can build a shelter. Now, if you look on the left, it's this beachhead recon, recon forest zone. I've hunt, gathered, and crafted. I've leveled up, spent my blueprint and talent points. I just need to build as a shelter and craft a bedroll. And so that's what's going to be our goal for today. And once we've completed that, we will be able to check out from this planet, and this will have completed the requirements for this mission. So one of the things I'm going to do that's going to help me craft that easier today, after I kill this deer, now even on the skinning tables, this deer and bears and buffalo, you can't skin on the table because they're too heavy to carry. This deer I could, but there's another deer that's larger than this one that's called a large deer, and you can't craft it on the table because you can't pick it up, so you have to skin it in the field, so to speak. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to camp here for a bit and wait. What I'm doing is, in essence, is waiting for an animal to cross down here that I would be able to kill, and then I'm going to leave his carcass, and that will attract wolves. And when the wolves come in, I will kill them. And if I kill enough of them, I will be able to have the fur I need so that I can make a bedroll, which is one of the requirements for me to leave the planet. And then all I'll have left to do is build a shelter. And like I said, once we hit level 5, we'll be able to unlock the wood, and we will be able to build a shelter. Now, when this mission ends and we go back up to the space station, if we collect, once we've done that, when we leave this planet, all traces of us here are erased, which means when we come down to the planet the next time to do the next mission, we'll be starting from scratch just like we did here. The difference will be is that the tech tree points and the talent tree points that we have will stay the same. We won't have to earn those again. Now, when we did the beta, which was every other weekend, whenever the beta weekend ended, we were all the way back to scratch, and we had to level all that stuff up again, which nobody was really happy about. And then there's still some that are not happy with the way they're doing the launch here, with requiring you to start from scratch upon accepting a new mission. Now, even though you get to keep the talent points, which you didn't get to keep in the beta version. So, that's a contested thing. I play this game because I enjoy it. I'm taking my time on this mission because I'm doing it as kind of a tutorial and also a way for people to see what the game's about. I could have rushed through this in the first, within maybe an hour or two after we landed. But I'm just trying to take my time so, I can enjoy the game. I like the game. The landscape is pretty fascinating. This place is huge. I mean, I can walk in any direction for hours and not come to the edge of the map. There's a bio, there's an Arctic biome and snow and stuff with polar bears and all that stuff. There's a river biodome. There's this one, the forest biodome, and there's a desert biodome. Now, in the forest biodomes, it's very diverse. It's the major part of this map. It's probably, I would say, 65 to 70% of the map are forest biomes and river biomes. And you can traverse from one biome to the next. In other words, there's no boundaries, at least not that I know of right now. But some of these other biomes, to get to the desert biome and stuff, you have to travel long distances to find a passage that will go through. And then there's ways to get to these other biomes through caves by drilling and blowing out the backside of the hill to get, and then walk into, basically opening up a passageway between one biome and the other through the mountain. So, and that's actually one of the missions. That was one of the missions in the beta. To get from this biome to the desert biome. Now there were other ways to get to the desert biome. There's passes in the mountains and stuff, but they wanted that mission done that way, and that's why we did it. Anywho, looks like I'm not getting very much luck. Usually there's high traffic here, because this is not the first time I've been in this biome. So we may have to go elsewhere to try to find meat. Wolves is what I'm basically after, what I want, because wolves provide the most fur outside of skinny bitch. So maybe we'll go do some other things and try to get points up so we can level. Now this is what I was talking about. This is a soybean plant, and it will be used in cooking recipes and stuff with the kitchen that you'd build. And there's plants that provide coffee for drinks. There's tea. There's lots of different things that you can get. So what I think I'll do is head over to that. I'm going to head over to that island where I'm fairly sure there are wolves, pack of wolves that live. Over across the way here. Now there's an animal. If I can get him. Okay. Now I can camp here and wait. And wolves should come to feed off the carcass. At which time I can attack them, or kill them, and harvest their fur. And here they come, I think, maybe. Nope, those are deer. I think what I'm going to do... Now, in a lot of these lakes and rivers, there are fish that you can get. Get my arrow back. So what I think I'm going to do here, I'm going to skin him and just take the fur. So I can leave the meat. Oh, I didn't get any fur from him. But I will take the bones, and I will take this. Close. And I will back off. Let's see if I can't pull them in. And wait them out. So maybe in this version of this biome, there are not any wolves over here. I don't know if it's making it or if it's going over his head. Oh, I got him. But I'm hearing the noises that sound kind of like a wolf. There's one. He's swimming, I think, across. Is that a wolf or a rabbit? That's a rabbit. There's a deer and a baby deer. So I guess, I don't know. This doesn't seem like they're, maybe he's wanting to come here and get him. Very surprising. And there's the fish that I was talking about. That are in here that you can cook up, and you get a buff off the fish as well. What is that there? Creeping along. Oh, that's a deer. Oops. And I've got meat that's rotting in my bags. So let's eat this stuff. And we have things in my bags that are rotting, so let's just go ahead and get down. Let's head back over. Let's skin this stuff first so we can get the credit for it. My knife's about to break, so let's repair that. Now when you do a repair, it does deplete your stamina to just about 0. Let's take this meat. Let's see. There's another one over here I killed somewhere. I was fairly sure. Let's see him. Sometimes it will. There he is. Now, sometimes I have lost them. They just fell through the map. Not often, but it does happen sometimes. Maybe not so much now in the full launch. Back in the beta, I did. Alright, let's head back over to our camp, cook all that meat up, and figure out a way to make some points. So we can level up to 5. That's a lot of meat to cook. And we got a pumpkin here we want to cook as well. Matter of fact, I think we'll let the pumpkin cook first. Because one of them's getting ready to spoil. There we go. Okay, let's look at our inventory. Let's move this into here. How are we doing our points? We've got a long ways to go. So, I suggest we cut trees and stuff down. Means that can't seem to entice any wolves today. At least we'll have a lot of wood when we get ready to build something. When we finally get to that point. Ooh, lag spike. We must be full. Okay, so we'll have to leave that. We can go build us another pile over here.
Before you start building, you need to hydrate. There's a lake down there. Go take a drink. Even a base here in the Terra Zone, the water's pretty clean. Fish don't seem to mind it.
I don't know if we'll be able to use this outside or not. Looks like we will. And it can be harmed by the weather. And I don't know how long we'll be able to stow stuff in here, but let's see if we can get some of the stuff out of our bags so we're not so over encumbered. Soon. Okay. We do not have any wood. Go back to what we were doing. We just cut a tree down somewhere. I think this is it right here. So, let me collect a bunch of this stuff so I can try and experiment. This is fiber that I'm collecting right now. It's small patches on the ground. You can collect fiber from shrubs as well. You can also get sticks with those. That was a carrot that I just picked up. There are carrots out here, wild carrots. These small pine trees, the ones that you can harvest like this stuff and chop them down, they're a good source for sticks. The sticks are used to make arrows and things like that. They're also used in building. You have to have them in your inventory when you're doing building. You have to have fiber and sticks. You can start to even build a log cabin. Excuse me. But I want to conduct an experiment on what I was talking about earlier, about how back in the beta people were making bandages to help them level. I want to see how much they nerf that. Thought we'd do some gathering. Now that we had some space in our bags. Let's see how much we have. We have fiber 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, so we should be able to go do this now. Well, let's go test this theory out and see how much they nerf that. Okay, so what you do is you go to your crafting. This is the bandage I was talking about. You hit max. Now you just watch this bar and see how fast it comes up. I'm getting 80 XP for each time I do that, which is pretty good. It's not as much as it was before. It was like 125 or 50 before. But as you can see the bar moving up little by little for each bandage that's made. And these are made in stacks of 10. Okay, so now that I've made all these, I'm going to go ahead and delete them. When I destroy them, it's going to tell me that it's going to give me back some of that stuff. I'm going to receive 200 fiber for that stack of 10. I won't get back as many as I spent. So I won't be able to make nearly as much as I spent. Okay, so, but what I'm going to do is come back over here, hit max again, and I hit craft, and as you see, I'm still getting 80 XP, and my bar is coming up. So you can't do it as fast as you could before, but you can obviously utilize this, especially like if you're camped out in a rainstorm or something, and you want to not just sit there. So to really benefit from that now, with the storm coming in, I would need to run around and grab as much fiber as I could before the storm hit. You know, keep my knife out so if something tries to attack me, well, first of all, I should probably repair the knife. Let's repair our bow as well. And our axe while we're at it. And you can hear me breathing heavy because it takes your stamina all the way almost down to 0. Let's run over here. Let's see if we can find some more fiber. You can collect fiber pretty quickly. Let's see if you can get an area where there's a concentration of it on the ground. I want to go up to my ship anyway because I want to put my hatchet that I brought down, my pickaxe that I brought down with me back into the ship. And I can put this up here and it'll go back with me. Now if I don't do that before I leave, it'll be lost down here and I'll have to craft a new one. And what happened last time, why I had to craft a new one this time, is because I have never been down in this tune before on this character. This is the first time I've played it, as it's a new character. So that's why I needed to craft one for this character. So I'm getting a storm exposure. I really want to get enough of these that we might be able to show you how you can pop your level by doing this. How many we got? 200. 200. Yeah, let's go back. We should be able to do it with this. I'm starting to breathe heavy now, so. We go. Okay, so now we're out of the storm, and let's see if we can't craft up some stuff. I want to get this wood out of my bag, so I'm going to put it over there. Let's eat one of these. Let's move the carrot over here. Can't cook it yet. Alright, so let's do this crafting thing. Max. Let's see if we can't pop 5. Any second now. Boom, there it is. So now we hit level 5. I'm going to stop this because I don't need to keep making those. And let's go to the tech tree. And we now should be able to unlock wood. Yes. Okay, so we'll do the floor. We have 5 points still available. We'll do the wall. We'll do the door. I don't like that they moved that, because it used to be in tier 1, that crafting table, and I don't like that they've moved it all the way to level, so you hit level 10. It doesn't matter. Okay, so what else can we use? Is there anything over here that we can unlock? There's the bone arrows. We want to unlock the bone arrows. And what about the bone knife? Did that unlock? Yes, it did. So now we'll be able to make a bone knife. We have 1 point left. Let's see if there's anything I'm forgetting. Excuse me. Nah, we'll save that later. Let's do the windows now, and then we don't have to worry about it later. Okay, so now all we have to do is pick up this. We have space. Yes, we do. Alright, so we're going to pick this up. I'm 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 going to be over encumbered. That's fine. Because we want a short ways over here. It's where we can build. And once we craft this little cabin that we're going to craft, we'll be able to take off and this mission will be complete. Alright, so the first thing we want to craft. Now, you can... Let's see what our talents are offering us. Increase the base stamina. I'm going to use that for this. I still have 1 point left. The increase the base stamina is important. I'm going to use my next one on that one as well. That's going to afford us to be able to walk farther and run farther without running out of gas. Alright, so the first thing we want to do, take a look around and see who's sneaking up on us. Alright, so first thing we're going to want to do is craft some pillars, some beams. So I'm going to craft 8 of these. Got it there, right there. Alright, so we have 8 beams. Now we're going to take those beams and we're going to set them down here on our bar in the 8 slot. Next we're going to make some floors. The floors I'm also going to use as roof pieces. I'm going to make a flat roof. We're going to take those 4 pieces and then we're going to set those in the number 9 spot. I'm going to evacuate this out of there. And then now we're going to make walls. And in the walls we're going to craft 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Craft. And I'm going to put those walls in the 0 spot. Okay, so now that we've done that, first thing we're going to want to do is set our pillars down. And the pillars are in the number 8 position. So here we go. Now you can see the little light green tip of this. That's what I want. And I want another one that's going to be just over from that one. Not here. Straight off of it. There we go. And the next one's going to go there. Nope. Now if I point at it and I hit Y, it will destroy it and give it back to me. And so now we can continue on. So we want this to be in line with these. There we go. Sometimes that's difficult. Alright, so the next one is going to go further out here. It's not cooperating. Alright, so let's get this lined up. Sometimes these are difficult. So that all looks good. Alright, so next we're going to do the floors, which is going to be number 9. So yeah, they're off. And it happens. So what we're going to do now is we get them where we want them. So let's see if we can try this again. Come on. There we go. Ah. The heck with it. Let's go to 9. Let's see if we can get these things to fix. That's the problem right there. It's because it zoomed around. Oops. Well, we lost that one. Okay. Let's go back to 8. Okay, we're out of those, but we can push the number 8 and it will make another one. Let's make one last one. Okay, so we're going to 9. Okay. So now we're going to go to 0. We're going to build some walls. I'm going to hit R and I'm going to change that to a window. And there's 2 types of windows. There's this type of window and then there's these that you build like this. And then right here I'm going to do the same thing, only now I'm going to switch it so it's the other way. And now it gives me that nice window on the corner. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to switch it back to the other way. Gives me a good view of what's going on outside. And we'll switch this one back this way. Now we'll go back to regular walls. So we need some more. We're going to craft that. And we're going to do one more. And in this one, we are going to put a doorway. Alright, so now we're going to craft a doorway. A door, I mean. Craft. And we're going to craft 4 windows coverings. And we're going to need more wood. Finish this off. But for that reason we will deploy the door. We will deploy the window coverings. Place them where this was. 1, 2, 8. Now I can actually hunt from right here. Okay. Now all we need to do is, let's see, 8. Put on a roof, and we're short. But I believe we still have over here at our old base. Do we have any wood left over here? I thought we did. Maybe we don't. Oh yeah, we do right there. So let's take that. Let's pick this up. Let's pick up our fire pit. I'm going to destroy the charcoal because it's really heavy and we don't use it for anything right now. And let's head back over to the cabin. I can actually leave now. As you can see, I've completed the mission even though I don't have the roof on this yet. But I thought I'd finish this so you can see kind of what these are about. Alright, so first thing we're going to want to do is hit this. We're going to put our oxygenator down over by the door because that's where we would probably most likely use it the most. We'll put it in this corner actually. And why am I suffering? Oh, I need water. Ah. I just need to run out here and get a drink real fast. Yep, that's how fast things can change. Alright, let's put our camp down, our fire down. Now, a lot of people are afraid to use these indoors, but I've been using them indoors since the beta. I've never had them cause a fire. People think that they're dangerous in that way, but as long as you set them away from the wall a little ways, you're usually pretty good. Most people set them outside, but I like to have them inside for the heat. Put some wood in there. Well, we can't do that yet. We'll throw this in there. There's 53 logs. We'll activate that. That's going to give us some light in here. And then next we're going to craft 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 4 floors. While we're at it, let's go ahead and cook these carrots. No sense in going to waste. Eat something. We're fully back up. Okay, so let's do these. It's going to be number 9. Let's complete this off. Okay, so there you have it. These windows you can't open. You can actually, in fact, use a torch inside of here by holding it in your hands. The only thing I tell you is that you can set one of these buildings on fire so easy it's not even funny. And if I was to take this torch and stand close enough to this wall, it will catch on fire. So you have to be mindful of that. That's why I don't like really using the torches inside. I only do it when I absolutely need to. Otherwise I just go by the fire from the camp fire. There's barbecue carrot. We'll consume that. You can go to your inventory tab and it will tell you what the specific benefits of that is. Now I'm not getting a buff from the carrot because I already have too many buffs going on. Once you reach the maximum of buffs, then it will shut you off and it won't allow the fruit to give you a buff. Anyway, so that's that. Let's fill this thing up. Alright, so being that we're going to leave, I'm going to step out here. I'm going to light my little torch and I'm going to set the cabin on fire because we are going to leave and that's just the way I roll. Should burn. Maybe not. I don't know. Not gonna burn. Well, we'll need it anyway. Anyways, so we're gonna look for our ship on the map so we can head to it. This is where we want to go, so I'm gonna put the marker here. And as if you look above the top center of my map and where the E is, you'll see the little red triangle. That's where the mark is I put. That'll help guide us back there. Because we're going to exit this planet and call it a day. Should be getting close to it. There it is. I can see the flickering lights of it now. We didn't even make a bedroll, and I thought that was part of it. Maybe they don't care about the bedroll. Anyways, so we have our axe in here. Now, we can't take any of this stuff back. So I'm going to put take all, but it's not going to take anything. And I'm going to push return to station. I'm going to say yes. And the first mission will be completed. So I'm not sure that we're going to get any points for that one. But we won't know until we're back at the station. Okay. So. Select character. Now it's telling me I completed it. I'm going to go ahead and close that. This is the summary. I'm going to go up here to loadout. And there's the axe, and it's fully repaired, as you can see. So when we get ready to go on the next mission, we can take that back down with us. Alright, so that being said, accolades. We didn't get any accolades because we didn't really do much. Loadout, workshop. So yeah, we didn't get any points for that. But we will probably get some on the next mission we go on. So we are going to return to the character select. Okay, and so we're going to call it a day on this. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like if you think I deserved it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so that you know the next time I drop another video. This is the first in a series that we're going to do that will become a playlist. If you have any questions or suggestions, don't hesitate to make a comment. I will respond to anybody's comments that comment in the comment section. And hope you had a good time. Thanks for joining us, and have a great day, and always stay safe. We'll catch you next time. Bye now.